Papercrafter's Library. In today's video, I want to introduce you to an innovative product by American Crafts called Knockouts. Now, Knockouts are a border punch system with interchangeable border punches. So in today's video, I'm going to show you not just how to use it, but I'm also going to share with you some tips for getting the perfect border every time. So to get started with this system, you would need to purchase the Border Starter Kit, which you see here, and this retails for around $10.99 US. So the Border Starter Kit comes with the border punch base that you see here, an interchangeable border punch, 2 matching wing guides, and then this storage compartment. And the storage compartment is designed to store both the wing guides and your border punch. Now you can purchase additional decorative border punches separately, and this is what they'd look like, and they retail for around $9.99 US. And when you purchase this, essentially what you're getting is your punch, the storage compartment, and then the 2 matching wing guides. Now these are currently available in 12 other designs. And here I'm just going to show you the American Crafts catalog so you can see what those 12 designs are. And there's going to be more released at the CHA Summer 2012 show. Now, as you can see in looking at all these designs, they're really fun and versatile, and I know for myself, I can certainly see myself collecting them all. So using this system is super easy. You lift up this plastic piece, which essentially is going to act as the lever, and you take your punch and you sit it inside, and then you can see I'm just pressing it down. Now it sits nice and snugly so that even if you flip your punch upside down, it's not going to fall out. And to remove it, you simply pull it out. Now, notice that I can put it in this way, or I can put it in this way. So you're going to want to pay attention to which direction you put it in, because if you put it in backwards, then you can see you're not going to be able to do anything with it. So you want to make sure that the side that says Knockouts and has the slot is the side that's going to be facing you. So then you're going to slide it in just like that. So now on either side of the punch, you're going to notice these 2 holes. And on the one, you're going to see it's labeled with the letter A, and then on the other side, it's labeled with the letter B. Now on the wing guides, if you flip those over, you'll notice that one of them has a letter A and one of them has a letter B. So you simply put the A on the A side and you put the B on the B side. Now if your eyesight is such that you're finding it really hard to see the letters, you'll notice as you go to put them in that you can actually only pop them in one way. Now one of the corners of each wing guide has an angle on it. So you can see here 3 straight corners and then the angle. And on the other one, there's the 3 regular corners and then there's the angle. If you look at these little channels that are on here, there's 3 corners, and then here you'll notice this little angled piece on the bottom outer corner. Same thing on this side. There's this angled piece on the bottom outer corner. So you essentially need to match up the angles. I have my B piece, I'm sliding it in, and it's sitting nicely. Now here, look what happens if I accidentally put this the wrong way. So let's say I don't have my corners matching up. You'll see that it's not going to sit in the little slot or channel properly. It's going to lift up. So really, there's only one way that you can put this in. And of course, another sort of additional safeguard is the pattern that you see on the wing guides. You want the straight edge of the pattern to be facing against the raised edge of the punch base. So again, this straight edge should be towards the raised edge of your punch base. Now removing the wing guides is very easy. You just take your punch, you flip it upside down, and you can see these little circular kind of a peg piece. You simply take your finger, press down, and you can see here that it pops out the wing guides. And then just pull your punch and you're ready to switch out your next punch. So now this last piece that you see here is the storage compartment, and it's designed to hold the wing pieces as well as the punch itself. Now if you take a look at the inside of the storage compartment, you're going to notice that it has kind of these raised sides or raised edges inside. There's this long horizontal piece, and there's 2 of those, and then there's these 3 vertical pieces, and then of course there's the slot in the middle. Now if you take a close look at the horizontal pieces, you'll see that on either side it's slightly raised. So you can see that on that side as well as on that side. And then if you take a close look at the side pieces, the ones that are at the very end, there's a little notch there. Same thing with on this side, there's a little notch, and there is not one here. So that's a guideline for how you can slide your wing pieces in. So I'm taking one of the edges of my wing pieces and I'm butting it up against the little notches at the end, and then I snap it into place. Same thing with the other wing guide. You can see if I try to put it anywhere else, it's not going to sit properly, and my punch isn't going to sit properly in there. So I'm just aligning the edge, aligning the edge up against the notch, and then I pop it into place, and then that little channel in the bottom is what holds the wing guides in place. And then you simply place your punch on top, and there you can see how nice, easily, and compactly it's stored. Now when you're ready to use it, you just pull your punch out, and then you pop your two wing guides out by pressing it like that. Now with the wing guides, it doesn't matter which direction you put them in, whether you align the straight edge with those little channels or you align the edge that has the angled corner. They're going to fit in, they're going to fit into your storage case in either direction, so that doesn't matter. So now to punch with this system, you use it as you would any other border punch. You take your paper or cardstock, you slide it into that slot, and I like to butt mine up against the slightly raised edge of my wing guide to start my punch, and then I close the lever downwards, place my hand on it, and then just apply pressure, and you can see here it punches. Now you'll notice I didn't start my border punch at the very edge of the cardstock, and you'll see why in just a moment. To continue punching, so this here that I have is a 12-inch strip of cardstock. So to continue punching, I keep my paper inside and I just slide it forward, or upwards I guess you could say, and I'm now aligning my punched pattern with the pattern on my wing guide, and you want to make sure that it aligns perfectly, and you also want to make sure that the edge of your cardstock or paper piece is completely butted up against the raised lip on your punch base. You don't want your paper to be like this outwards. It has to be both sides before and or above and below the punch have to be completely aligned against that raised lip. So I've got my edges aligned, I've got my punched pattern aligned with the pattern on my wing guide, and I can now go ahead and continue punching. And there you can see how I'm continuing down. So then essentially what I'm doing is I'm just continuing to move my cardstock upwards, aligning my pattern, making sure my piece is aligned against the edge, and I just keep punching until I've gone the entire length of my cardstock piece. So I've punched all along the edge of my piece. Now to get my border punch all the way to the edge of my cardstock, I'm now going to slide this in from the other side, and I'm going to align the pattern, my punched border, with my pattern on my wing guide, and then I'm going to punch, and there you can see I now have my perfectly punched border. So now going back to why I started my border so far in, I just want to show you what happens if you don't do that. So let's say I start my cardstock further in the punch rather than I started it over here. So let's say I start it so that it's in the slot, and I know that as soon as I punch, I've started the border right at the edge of my cardstock. So now what's going to happen is that as I slide it further along the guide, as I'm trying to make sure that the back edge of my cardstock is aligned with the back edge of my border punch, I have to be extra careful, because you see on this side there's nothing to keep that equal spacing. I don't know if you can see this here. I can sort of accidentally squish my border further in. There's nothing to keep that perfect spacing. So let's say as I'm pushing and I'm aligning my piece to, let's see here. So I've got, you can see it looks like I've got it butted up against the edge, but if I'm pressing one end in too far, as I'm continuing on, even though my edge is aligned, I can end up mucking up my punch. So I don't know if you can see this, but if you look closely, you'll notice that these holes are not the perfect circles anymore. They're actually quite a bit bigger. And that's because it's just very easy, if you're not paying careful attention, to accidentally press your already punched part too close to the end and then completely muck up your border. You don't end up with a nice, clean, perfect border. So once again, my preference is to start at the edge of the wing guide. Now you've noticed me punching in this direction away from me. You can punch in the other direction as well. It doesn't have to be away from you. You can punch towards you as well. And that's why there's the wing guides on both sides. So here you can see how easy it is. Doesn't matter which direction you use. But anyways, there you can see how easy it is to punch your border. So as long as you use your guides, you're fine. So let's say now from your strip of cardstock you've cut off your first scallop border that you want, and you now want to create a different border, let's say a postage stamp border. To swap things out, you simply remove your punch. There you can see all the scraps from before. Pop out the wing guides. Now take my other wing guides, straight edge against the back. Take my knockout, make sure my slot is pointing towards me, and now you can see I'm ready to go, and I can very quickly start punching another border. Very, very easy, very quick to change out. So all in all, after using the Knockout Interchangeable Border Punch system, I have to say that I really love it. It's easy to use and they have some fantastic border designs. What really sold me though were two things in particular. So the first thing is how much more economical this kind of a system is versus just buying individual border punches. Your average border punch, and this is an example of some of the ones that are out there on the market, these tend to retail between $14 to $16 US, versus the starter kit, which had the base, the punch, the storage compartment, and wing guides, which retailed at $10.99, and then the individual punches, which retail at around $9.99. Now that's a cost savings of $4 to $6 per border punch design. Now besides that though, the biggest feature by far for me was how compact and lightweight this system is. My storage space, always at a premium, which is why I love how little space each of these border punches takes. And because the system is so lightweight, like this base weighs almost nothing, and the punches themselves, they don't weigh that much either. So it makes it a very portable system for crafting on the go. So there you have it, the American Crafts Knockout Interchangeable Border Punch System. Definitely for me, a person who loves punches and borders in particular, a must-have addition to my craft stash. For more videos on American Crafts products and videos on other paper crafting tools and supplies, visit our video library at www.papercrafterslibrary.com. With over 800 videos and more being added daily, we are the largest and most comprehensive online library of paper crafting video tutorials in the entire paper crafting industry. So come on over and check us out.